Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 146. It's Iliya here, and as always I'm really grateful to have you on the channel. And as you know, in this video we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what kind of opportunities we had, and what we can potentially expect for the upcoming week. This one was pretty volatile, but it was awaiting the Fed. I think it was a Thursday or Wednesday when we had some massive momentum when the Fed said that they're going to increase the rates even faster. And then like from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we had a little bit of choppiness. And but overall, a great week with a lot of opportunities across the currency board, especially the majors and the US pairs and also the indices, right? So hopefully had a great one. My week is kind of shitty. It's a minor loss. I didn't trade on Monday. Then on Tuesday I was kind of in a hesitation mode because I'm currently in a losing streak, so you know how it is. And I missed a lot of great trades on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday I took a break even and a loss. Then I missed out on an amazing long later. Thursday no trading because we just imposed massively on that day after the interest rate decision was announced. And on Friday another break even. So yeah, pretty shitty, not a lot of opportunities, but of course we still have one more week of the month, so let's make it count. All right. If you are new to this channel, it is all about trading. I share this weekly outlook and setups every Saturday, and also I'm planning to release a trading series on building your trading plan, top-down analysis, entries, and everything. So make sure you are subscribed, turn on the notification bell in order not to miss the future content, and if you already did, let's head straight into the analysis. All right, as always, starting with the big boy, the Dixie. As you can see, we have a third week of bullishness, so the dollar is definitely strong, the sentiment is definitely bullish. And this week we had the Fed announce that they're gonna raise the interest rates by 50 basis points, which is huge, right? So they're even starting to increase them faster in order to battle inflation, and this is great for Forex trading because the ECB, on the other hand, are not really fast with increasing the rates. They're actually holding them. And when you have a country like the US increasing the rates faster and another one holding them or even decreasing them or even their rates being lower, then there is a very big kind of displacement between both of those, right? So right now we saw this week Euro USD massively flush and some GU also flushed, and all other currencies that are holding their rates are basically flushing against the dollar, which is great, a very good time to be trading. So let's hope we're gonna continue getting these sort of continuations moves. On the Dixie, I do believe we're just headed towards this high, right? So 103 right now is the potential liquidity spot where the market can be going towards. 102 could be a potential reaction point because again we still have something for to react from right there within those wicks, so we can potentially right now start heading towards this, maybe create another pullback and then potentially break. All right, because again long term, until like the ECB or another country increases their rates as well, then potentially this momentum is still gonna continue. Okay, of course on the weekly right now we have 3 bullish candles, so we can always start expecting a pullback. But what do I tell you? As long as the market is trading bullish, we keep longing, right? So as you can see, this week we opened on the 18th. We opened with a straight move into the highs. Tuesday was kind of bullish as well. Wednesday we had a little bit of a drop, and then Thursday was actually the big day, right? It looked like the market was reversing, but we just went all the way down towards a very specific level right there on the 4H. And then of course immediately after on the next day we are creating a new high. And yes, currently potentially reaching for 102 and this sort of level. So I'm pretty bullish, and dropping to the 4 hourly time frame, you can see how we initiated. Like we had this massive run into the highs, then we opened a little bit of chop around, a little push, pullback, push again, chopped around, then we had this massive sell-off, a little bit of a pullback, then this manipulation into the lows, right? London open right there, and we had this massive expansion. So we pretty much came in to retest this zone right there. And this is kind of the last sell before this big buy that caused the break of structure. So this is probably where the institutions were selling in order to buy, and then of course in order to put in more positions later. And because if they sell, they're pretty much running at loss. This is how I interpret this. They're coming back at the same place to probably close break even, launch even more, and then as you can see we impulse into the highs again. So right now the question is where can we potentially long from? Well, let's drop our range. There is our new range. 50% is roughly around right there. We have this beautiful wick that I see, so this can be a first area of interest where we can look to trade, and there is a second one right there. So this is how I'm just simply gonna drop it for right now. And if I am to potentially give you again any outcomes, well, on the 4-hourly, I would expect a top right there, shift on the 15 and go. Potentially, if this one fails to hold, then run into the lows, then again shift and push. And then of course, if this fails, which is our major high or low right now on the 4-hourly and on the daily, right? So we are bullish as long as this one is intact, right? And of course, if this one breaks, then we have to turn bearish. Okay. Of course, the potential possibility for counter trend trades, there are none right now, simply because we are staying within this 50-minute range. And in fact, this is another level that we can look at. Look at this beautiful 50-minute candle, sharp spike to the downside, massive break of structure. And right now you can see how correctively it is moving towards them. So we can even react from here, or it could be just a reaction. Then this becomes liquidity potentially, tap inside, and then it goes, right? So this is how I imagine it. Overall, long bias. So hopefully on Monday, Tuesday, we're going to start bearish, pull back towards those levels. And then hopefully a nice long opportunity is going to align for us to eventually target 102, right? So let me know what you think, guys, in the comments about Dixie. I'm definitely bullish. Do you think we're going to get this pullback? Let me know. Let's have a look at EU. Before we head into my favorite pair, shout out to an amazing broker that is cedarforex.com. It is great with very tight spreads. It has all the instruments you want, crypto, stocks, indices, futures, everything. They also have a no commission account, but I picked their eco account, which has commission, but for every single lot that you trade, it goes towards planting 10 trees. And I really love this initiative, and they're actually documenting the process on their website. So make sure to go in the description, click on the link, and check them out. Totally recommend it. Looking at the euro on the weekly time frame, we can see that the weekly candle was not a big deal, it looks like, but there was something really important that happened. So currently, again, we are just still kind of reacting from this range, but as you can see, we already reacted. It just caused the pullback towards 50%. Very textbook move, right? 50% liquidity grab right there above these kind of highs. And right now launching lower, and the first target was hit even from the last week. And right now we're just kind of chopping around a little bit, but we still grab liquidity above the previous weekly candle, which I'm gonna show you. And potentially, I think right now we are headed lower again. Where to? Well, 106. Hopefully, the question is, are we gonna have another reaction from these sort of levels? So are we gonna have a pullback, another one? I don't know, right? I personally don't think so, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if we zoom in, so there was this level to be potentially retested, but we also had this high right there. So what happened is the market just liquidity grabbed above the previous weekly high, and then look at the reaction. Massive to the downside, right? So this immediately makes me think that potentially this market will not make another run into the highs. It will make it if it really needs more steam, more liquidity to push. But yeah, the thing that I don't like is that if we take the overall daily range from the high to the low, this is not 50%, right? So I am still looking, I'm still open to another leg into the highs to potentially come and retest this high right there, or at least something within the 50%, which I think we have, yeah, these little ranges right there. Well, I was looking to short on these days, I remember, but the market just chopped, continued, right? And at times like this, like on EU, especially when it starts trending, it doesn't stop, right? You wait for a pullback, nope. You wait for a pullback, nope. Just continues to drop, right? So yeah, but what happened this week is that we had this massive run, like, guys, this week, amazing longs. And I'm really pissed because I didn't catch any. I attempted one, got stopped, and then on the re-entry, I was too slow. And yeah, you can see this one is, I think, the previous weekly high, or this one, it doesn't matter, but we took out those two highs and look at the reaction, right? Massive selling pressure right now. So I definitely think targeting the lows, right? I really don't think we're gonna trade above this high right now after we took out these two highs. So I do think right now we're seeking the downside. So right now the biggest question is, okay, how do we trade, right? So I see first of all this week on the 4-hourly that we can trade. Did I cover the daily? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, exactly. Because all of a sudden I was on the 4H. But yeah, so pretty much this is it right here. And then we can even trade from this guy, which is pretty big. So really not gonna look into it. But what I also like is that right here we had a potential level of demand that was kind of a higher low formation, but we tapped, reacted, tried to push, and then we just boom, blew through it. So this really confirms right now the bearish flow of the market. So definitely I am looking for shorts. Really hope to get a little pullback first, right? So if I try to maybe look on the hour, you can see, man, I was even looking to short this one. It's such a pissed week for me. But again, I don't blame the market. I blame myself because I was the one that I wasn't focused and really trying to slap a setup without being too perfectionistic, right? Because on this day right there, I forecasted shorts in the morning analysis. I told everybody to short the order today. And guess what? I missed it. I was looking for a high retracement. I was looking first high, second high, third high, and then there was a 1 minute setup, but it was not textbook, right? If I just go back at it right there, oh, what happens? We had this, right? And so for me, this one, my voice is running out, was not a confirmation, right? I did not really see the momentum on this one in order to put a short right there. But then I was wondering, bro, we'll just press short right there, stop loss above. Like you can just do like something like this, stop loss above, it was like 6 pips or something, and then just ride it, right? If you believe in the short, but it is what it is, right? And then of course we had, I was looking for the retest, but the market never retested, right? After it actually pushed, I was looking to short from this zone. And then guess what? New York session came in precisely to this level, and then I was like, okay, let's short again. But yeah, this ran away, looking to short here, then it broke, looking to short here, then it broke, and I was just like, yeah, just screw it. It was becoming already 4 o'clock. And this one could have been an opportunity on Friday. So yeah, I was really pissed on Friday because I really wanted to catch the short. And if I just quickly go to recap to tell you what trades I took. Monday I didn't trade, it was right there. Tuesday, beautiful long, precisely from right there. So if you wish, guys, for backtesting purposes, go and test it out. We started with this impulsive move. I was looking to long from this guy right there, but there was a long setup right there. Then a lesson that I learned this week is not to compare EU to even to the DXY and to GU, because on this move, right, precisely from this zone right there, I was looking to short, but at the same time, DXY was making a lower low while GU was making a higher high. So I thought, nope, this one is gonna break above. So I skipped this one. Then I was looking to long from here, I believe, but I still didn't because I was kind of already messed up and stuff. Then I took a short right here. So I was in this move lower towards this zone, but it did not tap 1 to 4. So it got me hit at break even. Then I took a long precisely from right there. Responded, failed, hit my stop loss, and then guess what? Massive move into the highs. And just right here at 10 o'clock, if you wish to go and examine, there was a 1 minute setup, but it developed a little bit too fast and I wasn't prepared. And then on this day right there, we just started pumping from, yeah, even before Frankfurt opened, and potentially you can be looking to short from right here, which I didn't. So kind of a messy week, which we had a lot of great textbook moves, honestly, but a little bit hard to catch. So let me know, you guys, how if you traded EU, how did you perform this week? But pretty much just to wrap it up again, I am very bearish. The question is, are we gonna head for this one or this one? I really like this guy right there. Why? Because it went precisely to tap inside this lower high, reacted massively, broke structure as well. So if we pull back towards this kind of wick right here, I will definitely be looking to short. You can see my alert is actually still staying there. And if this one fails, of course, we can then look for the higher one and still short, because I really think euro is going down. So let's see how this one is going to play out. But yeah, pretty much this is the analysis, looking for 107.50 to be taken this week. So let's see how Monday opens, and let's hope we get some shorts. Well, probably not much to comment on the JPYs. Again, there is the first JPY, Euro Yen, another massive engulfing candle. Well, it's not very engulfing, but still quite bullish on the weekly, so nothing too much to extract from here. We had this little slowdown that could be a potential retest level if this starts to go down. On the daily, you can see that Monday was a little chop, Tuesday massive, and then 3 days of consolidation, which is good. It could be finding the top, so we can finally initiate a little bit of a pullback. I really hope we get that. And on the 4-hourly, yeah, so pretty much if I am to focus on the 4-hourly, yeah, this is the daily range. But have a look at this. So we had a very nice, oh, okay, it was just by a pipette, but it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna take my overall range as this one right there. So I'm looking to see Euro Yen probably somewhere towards this kind of zone. Let's make it bigger like this, because this is really where the potential 4-hourly higher low is, but this is also the daily. So I'm overall looking for a pullback. And as you can see, what we have right now is, if we just read between the lines, there was this little kind of rally base, rally demand, tap inside, made a new high, which is good. So then what should happen? Well, this one should hold right there. And as you can see, it started breaking, right? It still wicks but I do think it's kind of starting to get invalidated. Even this low got broken right there. So I'm starting to see a little bit of a reversal signs. If we drop to the 1 hour as well, you're gonna see them even earlier. You can see from here, we tapped into this demand, we tried to push, make a new higher high, but no, then we flipped to the downside. So pretty much, if you are looking to short and if you think that this could be the high, and if you're seeing some of your conferences as well, I do think euro yen could be approached with a little bit of a short perspective at the beginning of the week, and then potentially if we take it lower, we can start looking for longs. So this is how I'm going to be looking at it. Potentially pullback, lower high, really have a good confirmation on a lower time frame, and then dropping lower towards 137, let's say, which is pretty much is it 1,000 pips or 100 pips? I'm really not sure. 1,800 or 180? I am not sure, guys. But yeah, I think it's even 2,000 if we short from right there, or 200. Okay, it doesn't matter, but we still have a lot of downside towards this zone. So let's see if some bearish flow is gonna kick in. We already have it. You can see how it's starting to respect those bullish candles right there. So I pretty much think we can have a short week, and also pairing this one with EU that is bearish. Let's see if we can have a bearish week on EJ, and if not, of course, then if it just decides to blow past through it, then of course look for a higher low and then continue with the trend. All right, let's have a look at the Aussies. Starting from AU, we can see how the momentum is starting to pick up after this huge wick right there that pretty much went in probably to retest some sort of a level right here. Threw in this big wick, then it started to kind of slowly start turning bearish, and this week we had a beautiful pullback into the upside and then just massive run lower. So yeah, I'm not sure of the rate of the Aussie, but once again, as I mentioned in the beginning and on the DXY analysis, if you're having the Fed increase interest rates drastically and the other countries or the other currencies are holding their rates, then of course there is a massive displacement going on. So yeah, I do think this one is going bearish, although we're about to tap into this sort of wick, but we took out all the liquidity above these major weekly highs. So this one is pretty huge, right? So yeah, I'm quite bearish on this one. I really don't think we're gonna get any longs. Yeah, just look at that. You really don't want to go against this. Of course, a thing that could happen is that we can have potentially this daily zone for the market to tap. And then what this is gonna do is it's gonna pull back lower high formation, and then it's gonna potentially head lower, right? So if we have any longs from this area, it's gonna be pullback trades, all right? But have a look at the past 2 days. So we started with a bearish Monday, it's kind of an inside bar Tuesday, beautiful breakout on Wednesday to tap into a 4-hourly zone, massive Thursday, and massive Friday, right? Friday was huge, so I'm kind of again sad that I didn't catch EU, unfortunately. But yeah, on the 4H we are getting nicely inside the zone, so there are two things that could happen. We can just blow through it, take out the low, and then initiate the pullback, or we can initiate the pullback from here, right, and then break. So again, right now it's very extended, so I'm not sure how much of an opportunity you're gonna get inside this zone, but my biggest tip will be to wait for a nice kind of hourly to 50-minute shift in order to take a long if you wish to trade against the trend like this, because right now we have this massive leg to the downside. Again, the lower low hasn't formed yet, so wait for at least like 3 to 4 candles to start pulling back in order to drop your fib. And then from there, you can start looking for kind of a zones where to trade from, which could be somewhere right here, maybe. And of course, there is the extreme, which I don't think we're going to tap. But a very nice development this week. So we actually responded from this guy right here. That actually caused the break of structure. Lots of flat price to be taken. Tap inside again. Then I think there was a third spike right there. Kind of looks like a whack-off schematic. I do think Miri should have gotten this one. So let me know. And yeah, just a massive drop later, and this developed during, yeah, this was actually trading hours during 10 o'clock. This is around London, broke, retested again, and then just a massive drop. So hopefully some of you guys managed to catch this short on Aussie. And again, right now I don't have much to say, because again, we're tapping inside this demand, we're overextended. So your two choices are to just wait for a pullback or start watching for counter trend trades, which, as I told you, wait for at least like an hourly shift, let's say. So maybe wait for a new lower high, lower low, high, and then potentially start trading it higher. Okay, so that's AU. I'm overall very bearish on it, but again, the question is, are we gonna pull back, or are we just gonna start dumping? Then again, follow price, right, and follow the structure. So AJ, okay, this one is starting to roll out as well. So is it time that the JPYs pull back? Well, I hope so. Like, look at this range, right? So this one is huge. This one is huge. Daily time frame. So we had a very nice run into the highs, then a massive sharp drop, and we're already breaking below the last daily higher low. So I do think the JPYs might start reversing, which is good. You can see on the 4H, we have this massive run into the highs, then a very nice move into the lows. And we can already see how the market is changing from bullish to bearish. So we had this kind of rally-based rally approach, tap inside, try to push, MSS formation right here, and then we just broke to the downside. Okay, so hopefully this one is gonna start forming structure right now, because within this kind of vertical leg, you don't have much to trade. So I hope we have like a pullback. It doesn't matter where it stops, as long as it stops. Then if it starts shifting, start shorting. Then if you have a new lower low, right, then you're gonna have a new range, which is a much cleaner one. And then of course you can start looking for pullbacks and start shorting this market, because if you start shorting this one, there is a lot of potential, right, towards filling all of this empty space right here. But of course, we know, is it really gonna reverse with the strong USD yen as well? But I do think it's time to do so. This can't push forever. I like the weekly candle right now. So can we get like a wick fill towards 50%? So if I drop 50% on this one, do we have something right there? Well, we kind of had a little indecisive candle right there. So this one could be a potential area to short. But again, my biggest tip will be to wait. So wait for it to kind of give you a pullback, lower high formation, see it as a confirmation, then drop lower. And then as it creates the first real lower low, then you just start following it. Okay, so that's AJ and AU. Both of them are bullish. They both need a pullback. So let's hope we get some pullbacks and some shorts. Let's have a quick look at the NZDs. So as discussed last week, these ones were a little bit more bearish than the Aussies, and we can already see them, right? So we had this beautiful spike, then this candle was quite bearish, and of course we have a continuation right now. And while in the meantime, AU, if you remember, is currently tapping into this wick, right? We have a similar wick on AU. This one is already blowing through it, and it's potentially headed towards breaking out this low, right? So nothing too much to say on the weekly. It's absolutely bearish. The biggest question right now is, how do we get in, right? So we have this beautiful buy candle right there, and then a massive sell-off. So this immediately turns into a very nice supply area on the daily. So right now the question is, okay, are we gonna get a pullback? Well, if we don't, then no trades, and if we do, then great. So if we have a look on the left, well, I don't want to really start dropping levels right there on the left, because I just want to see the market start reversing, because this is all I need. And right now it's pretty simple. We just dropped the range, which again, like AU, it hasn't formed yet. We just have one candle. I want to see at least like 2 to 3 candles to the upside. And yeah, then just looking for 50%, hopefully a tap inside right here, and then we short, right? So as simple as that. Another situation that could happen in such trending markets is that you get like a 38.2 pip, maybe towards this candle, then a new lower low. This is great because then you have a new structure, so you wait for a new lower high and then a continuation lower. Okay, so don't always get married to getting deep pullbacks. If the market starts creating new structure, this is something that I'm bad with, right? I tend to kind of marry a zone, and if it doesn't tap, if my alert doesn't go on, then I don't follow through on price, which makes me miss a lot of trades. So then again, if you have a tap inside right there, then look for it, and if it breaks structure, if it creates a new lower low, then you have new structure credit, right? So keep flowing with it. If you see, okay, this is not the 38.2, but almost, right? So hopefully we make a new leg lower on market open, then we started pulling back, because then we can align. Okay, so let's see, this is NZUSD, nothing too much to say. Again, just looking for a pullback, and we can see that NJ is already starting to make the move, as the other ones as well. Took out this high and almost about to take out this daily low as well. Weekly, massive rejection candle, taking out all the weekly highs right here. And yes, so according to me, this one needs a little bit more structure again. As I said on the previous one, we had this base candle that the market kind of retested first, a lot of retests right there. Then we failed to make a new higher high, so very similar to AJ, and then just a massive drop. So what we have to wait for again is for the market to pull us back. Where to? Well, maybe this guy right there. And first wait for a new lower low to form, so wait for a couple of candles to form, then look for the pullback, or again, as I said on NU, wait for a pullback. It doesn't matter where it stops. If it stops, then short it. If it breaks structure, then look for a pullback again and short it again, right? So this is how I look into those currencies. They look pretty simple. Right now we're starting to see some flow. So yeah, also May is about to open, and April, May, June, they're very good months until we enter July and August, which is the summer. So again, guys, we have 2 more months in Q2 to crush it. So let's get into it. Well, USD/JPY again for probably for the 5th or the 6th week. I have nothing to say about it. Another massive bullish engulfing candle into the highs. So I hope this one actually slows down so that it can cause all the JPYs to also reverse, as we just like had a look at EJ, AJ, NJ. All of them are looking a little bit reversing, right? But it really also depends on this guy, right there. As you can see, it's just pushing. This week we opened with a push, little pullback, and then 2 candles overall inside bars, which is good. Let's mark this one out. But yeah, dropping onto the 4H, we're just having a range right now. So yeah, I have nothing to say on this pair, guys. If you're not in, maybe from here, this one was not a bad long, then I just don't see trading opportunities. If you're not trading like momentum or breakouts or anything like this, so give this one some time. It's consolidating. I personally don't see any zone. The last slowdown was here, but this is really not a major level according to me. So yeah, I am just step aside from this market, of course, if you're trading structure, because I don't see anything. Right now we're having 2 inside daily bars, so it might have some sort of a breakout. I do think at tops of such ranges, right, you're not just gonna have a reversal. It's probably gonna do like a whack-off schematic, or it's gonna consolidate a little bit, trick people into buying, selling, stop hunt, and then potentially it's gonna go. So give it some time, right? Give it some time. I'm not sure if this one is the best pair to trade right now. You better try to short like EJ, AJ, or NJ, right? So let's see. Nothing too much to say on this one. Give it some time, and let's hope it starts to go down, which is gonna boost the weakness of the other JPYs as well. Let's have a look at the GBPs, starting from GU. So a very massive engulfing candle right there, which I think pretty much developed on Friday. So as you can see, just on Friday, we had this massive sell-off. And this is, of course, after the Fed announcement. So GU was kind of a little bit slowing down, generating some sort of liquidity. And then as this announcement was made, then just London opened on Friday and just boom, massive drop to the downside. So it could be a little bit tough right now to potentially get a trade, because it's probably headed towards taking out some sort of liquidity. I see this low potentially. We are just about to take these lows right there, which we actually did. So we can try to find like a zone that this market could react from. But we can see that there is nothing that nice within right there. Yes, this one looks like an extreme zone right here from which we can react to either take some longs or to have a pullback. But on the daily time frame, you can see that we just have this massive leg lower, which created, of course, a lower high and a supply area. It broke structure. Why doesn't this turn red? It broke structure, and so right now what we have to look for is for a pullback, and this doesn't turn red. It's driving crazy. Come on. Nope. Okay, well, massive drop again to the downside even on the 4H. So currently I really think this one is gonna need some development on Monday, right? It needs some, wow, it just changed right now. So I imagine it's gonna push into the lows towards this demand, then it's gonna start maybe pulling back, generating some structure, then maybe we can have a manipulation and then potentially going lower. I am very bearish on GU as I am on EU, again, just because of the fundamentals, right? And the macro side of things. But the question is right now, okay, what are we gonna do after this massive extension? Well, personally, I think we have to give it some time, okay? Massive expansion to the downside. There is nothing to work with right now except this supply zone. So again, as I said, if you have like a pullback, it doesn't matter where it stops. If it stops, then if it breaks structure, then play it, right? So we have a new break of structure, lower high formation, short, right? But right now we have nothing. So again, I would love for it to tap deeper into this zone that we found out just on the daily, then start consolidating. Maybe the hourly structure start to change bullish. So then we can start attacking like a little bit into the highs, because then we're going to have a nice range to target 50%, right? And then potentially look for shorts, because I do think we're headed towards this zone right there, which is around, yeah, 27 to 26.50. But yes, we need a pullback. So hopefully some of you are running shorts on this one. It has been developing nice. We had this choppy price manipulation into the highs, into this guy. And this week we stopped right there, probably something on the hourly, on the 50-minute, tapped inside, and then just massive reversal. So yeah, looking for a little bit more price on this one. Nothing too much to mention. And the GU, as we spoke last week, it's tapping into this sort of weekly zone, which is really good. And we can already see the rejection, which is very nice. Daily time frame, we are still overall bullish. We're just about to tap into this sort of range right here. So really want to see how it's going to respond. And on the 4 hourly, I like the 4 hourly because it's starting to change a little bit as well. Not much, but we can see that this little demand failed, pulled back. We had a failure to make a new high. Massive drop to the downside, caused the breakout structure right here. And right now we're having this very nice momentum to the downside. And also, if you wish, we can just drop this range right there as supply. So yeah, and currently we're reacting from this overall range right here. So again, this one also needs some time, I think. But if you get a pullback, so for the GJ traders, if you get a pullback towards right there, I don't think it's worth it to wait for a trade and put a risk on a short, because we saw that the majority of the JPYs are starting to reverse. If UJ also starts to reverse, then that's gonna be nice. GBP is very weak. So this is really supporting a short on GJ. So maybe if the JPY gets a bit stronger, then we can get a nice short on GJ. As of right now, maybe you can even attempt a long on Monday towards this zone, because we're sitting currently in the major 4-hourly higher low. So I do think it could be a risk to take, but there is no development yet, right? So again, I do think the GBPs, especially GU and GJ, need some time right now. But yeah, pretty much GU is extremely bearish and it needs something to form right now. You just don't want to short it from here or buy it without confirmation. While GJ is showing us first signs of a potential reversal, but it's still bullish, right? So we can still continue higher. So give it some time to both of them. And of course, utilize your strategy. But this is what I personally think. And we can see that Euro GBP, like the Euro is super strong, looks like, and this is why we have this massive drop on GU. And EU was a little bit it didn't want to push that hard. So yeah, this one pretty much went inside this wick right there. Massive expansion to the upside. So is it gonna continue? That's the question. Is it gonna continue? I want to take some shorts on EU, so I hope it does not. Maybe we're gonna stop from this zone, but I have no idea how this pair moves and how it operates, so I don't know, right? Don't listen to me. But yeah, massive move into the high, so it looks overall bullish. So can we have a pullback and a continuation? I don't know. This means that we're bullish on Euro, but I find this one rather erratic, this one, because it depends kind of on the Euro USD and GU. So whatever one is stronger, it tends to move. And the more I look into this, I see that it just does not respect technicals, or maybe it's just me. But yeah, this is how I also look at the Euro GBP. Currently, the Euro is stronger, right? This is what we see. So hopefully we get a pullback on Euro to short it. And then this one also plummets to the downside as maybe GU starts to initiate the pullback into the highs. All right. So those are the GBPs, keeping it simple. They all need some time. So let's give them the time they want. And yeah, let me know what you think about the pounds. So a lot of you are bullish on gold. Whenever I ask about your opinion, I see only bullishness on gold, which I again have to comment on, because fundamentally it doesn't make sense for gold to go up, right? It started going up as we had like the uncertainty and everything. We had the war and all of that stuff. So people try to position their money into like a safe haven or something. But right now with the rates, with the increase of the rates, it doesn't make sense for gold to go up, because people are probably going to buy more USD, right? Because they're going to probably get a better return. And we can immediately see this in price, right? So we tapped inside, we failed to make the high, then we started bearish, tried to push higher, fails, tries, and right now again, a bearish engulfing candle with a beautiful wick on top, right? So just want to put this, what is it called? Put this fly in your head. I'm not sure what was the saying, but that gold might not actually continue higher, right? So let me know what you think. But yeah, it's been tricky, so I'm not sure how you gold traders are doing, but we had this overall range, then a nice push into the highs, and right now we're starting to withdraw, and still, yeah, it's still a range. It's super hard. So right now we're about to tap into this kind of portion of the range that actually caused this break of structure, right? So let's see how it responds from here. I really don't want to call any shorts, but I really don't want to call any longs as well. But just looking at the 4H, we had this kind of little uptrend. We had a top inside, then a pullback, then it failed to push hard and just massive run into the lows, right? So pretty much this also creates a range right there that we can potentially look to short from. And you can see then we pull back, we do not tap this one, then we break structure. So this is a good example of what I told you about on all the JPYs. right? Sometimes you don't get a pullback, but if you get a lower low, then just look for the new lower high, which was here. So you get another short right there, right? Beautiful. Lower low was already created. So let's see how it's going to respond from this zone, right? So from this zone, we can maybe even head into the highs, then to flush. So we can, of course, turn bullish. I don't know, right? I'm not trading gold. I find it also slightly bit erratic and kind of based on the sentiment of investors and traders. But yeah, I do think we can start heading lower, maybe to start revisiting these lower portions of the range, because guys, we have been stuck in these sort of price levels right there since mid-March, right? And right now we're already at the end of April and it hasn't made a move higher, right? So I'm not sure what kind of liquidity it wants to grab and from where, but I do think we might have a spike lower, and then maybe then we can push higher. Let me know what you think. I'm just throwing this bug into your head, opening your eyes to shorts, because sometimes we can get married in a bias, like gold is bullish, right? But again, let's be objective, right? The outlook, the macro outlook, it's not very bullish. So let's be open to shorts only. How do we get in? Again, I don't know. I would look for this zone right there. But right now we have a new lower high, so I'm also going to be careful from here. If we have a tap inside fail, then of course we're going to tap inside right there, then wait for a shift right here. If you get it, cool. If not, then we're maybe going bullish, right? So again, don't listen to me on gold, but let me know what you think and what you think of the current fundamentals and if they are really supporting bullishness on gold. I am really excited for the indices and for the stock market right now, because we're having some drops, very nice companies to buy right now. So I'm really focused on that as well. Very nice liquidity grab above these high right there, and we're just massively plummeting again after the announcement. So I'm not really sure why the stock market reacts like this to the announcement of Powell, right? So increase of the rates, usually it is paired with a negative stock market. But if the companies are doing good, then I don't see a reason for us to really have a massive drop, right? So right now, US 30 is pulling back towards this long expected zone. So definitely I'm going to be looking for buys potential right there and to really see if this level is going to hold. I don't personally invest or trade US 30, but really interesting to see that it's taking all of these lows right there after a very nice liquidation above right there. And this also happened on, I think, yeah, it started on Thursday and then a massive continuation on Friday. So very curious to see how it's going to respond from this zone. And of course, if we don't take this zone, then this low becomes the liquidity, and then we're gonna head into a very nice low region that we can definitely start looking for some great investments, right? So let's see. I'm still looking at this supply. It failed to break, right? We liquidated this guy, so definitely if this one fails right now, this one becomes the next objective. So very nice times ahead of us. Nasdaq as well, very nice drop, so it definitely failed to break above this zone, right? And the held from here, pushed up right now, came in again, reacted, massive pressure right now. But just looking into this, NAS is very bearish right now because of what comprises the index, what kind of companies, right? So I'm definitely looking even for these lows to get broken right there. So yeah, very bearish on NAS. I see the volatility, and I even actually started trading it. I took a short, but it was on demo right there, so I wrote it towards the lows. It was very nice to see how, if you actually understand the fundamentals and what is going on, you can catch some great trades. But yeah, right now we're very bearish, so again, I'm just looking to see how it's going to respond from these sort of levels, but I get high conviction that we're just going to break through them, right? So again, if we decide to initiate a pullback, I'm going to be looking for this, because this is a brand new lower high. Again, you can see this lower high never tapped, right? We just kind of developed in right there. So yeah, continuation lower, looking for a pullback, and then continuation shorts, if of course this level will not hold. But I don't think it's going to hold because we're pretty bearish. Some of those companies are like, check out Netflix, guys. Netflix is just mad, and I'm not buying this company because, yeah, I don't really believe in it right now. S&P as well, very good times right now for putting some money in, right? Don't put everything, because again, we expect another drop to the downside. But from this high to this low, this is an 8% drop, and you usually don't get this one, right? So if you're investing, this is not financial advice or anything. I will personally be putting in next week. But yeah, so looking to see how this one is going to react. Very nice selling pressure, which usually occurs around mid-month, so very textbook. So definitely I will be interested to see if we can get any reaction or any longs from right there. But just looking at the pressure, it is very bearish. People are scared, it looks like. I'm really not sure what is happening, but I will be buying, right? And if this zone fails, maybe we're gonna get a response and it's gonna tap inside this one, lower high, then I'm looking for 4K, right? Because there is a very good thing happening around a little bit above 4K, but in the region from 4 to 380, right? To 380 and to 400, I think, something like this. So this whole thing right there is will be a nice buying area, right? So those are the indices. Yeah, looking for them to break to the downside, but also being very curious to see if we're gonna have any sort of respect of those demand levels. Crypto, chopping around, waiting to see what's gonna happen. We had a slight bit of a change of structure on the 4H, right? We had a nice tap inside with a very nice liquidation right there. Gotta look into it. Massive run into the highs, but where we went into this very extreme supply right there, and we had a massive reaction from it to the downside, right? So again, I don't think we're gonna have a hold from this one. I don't want to say it, but I'm bearish on crypto right now. And again, I'm sad that I didn't take profits right there, because currently I'm sitting precisely break even. And any drop below, I'm not going to be buying into any of those levels. I'm only going to be buying if we start coming close to these lows right there, which is around 35. Right, and I bought it at 39, which is a bit late. I missed this long right there. I missed this one. I bought it from somewhere right there. I of course have been running even some from here, right? But I definitely think this one is a good buying area right here. But we might need a little bit of a spike to the downside, maybe to scare more people, right? But yeah, currently we're just technically bearish, right? We had a little bit of a full hourly shift, but nothing changes on the macro, which is daily and weekly, okay? So if you really want to go long, then yeah, sure, but don't go long all in. I will be looking for more bullishness in order to really confirm a long bias. So far, we are just bearish. And the Ether is also kind of chopping around inside this 50% level, right? And on this one, I would actually love to buy maybe a little bit more if you pull back towards 250. Yeah, 25 right there. But yeah, nothing too much to on this one as well. We had the same delivery as on Bitcoin. We had a liquidation below right there, expansion higher. So probably this makes a lot of people think that it's going higher, right? I do think it could be a trap, because a lot of people might actually start looking to buy from here right now. But I do think it's getting lower. It failed to break any major supply. Bears are still in control, so don't get too excited. I do think we have more downside on crypto, right? And on stocks as well. So good times to put money in, because again, guys, you don't want to buy when the market is pushing. You want to buy it right now, right? Because from this high, this is a drop of around 18%. So I do think this is a good investment, right? And if you actually measure it from the top, we reached like a 50% drop, and right now we're around 42, right? So if you're buying within this region right there, you're pretty much good, because a lot of you might have bought actually at the top thinking that Bitcoin is going to explode, high, it's going to the skies. No, there is your pullback right now. So currently we're just accumulating within this range. And the biggest question is, are we going to actually go higher from here? Because if this guy breaks right there, which was a very nice round number, then I do think this one is definitely going to expose more downside. Come on, man. Okay, I can't place it right now, but oh, there it is. Yeah, 2880. Very funny how round numbers on the crypto. So yeah, enough of me ramping, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this weekly outlook. Let me know if you did in the comments. Make sure to like the video as well, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and let me know what are your expectations for the week. Let me know how you performed this week as well. I always love hearing from you. Make sure to check the link in the description. Subscribe to everything that is right there, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.